Were you aware that the oldest stone tools predate the earliest humans? Well, tonight's podcast, we're going to reveal all of the information you need to know. Because what we were taught in school, well, is far from the truth. Now, first, we have to identify what a human is. And in this context, humans are the genus Homo. Now, the genus Homo does not include all hominids or hominins. In fact, a hominin is a term given to humans and all of the extinct bipedal ancestors. These ancestors who walked upright on 2 feet, hominin. And hominid is the term given to all modern and extinct great apes, including humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, and all the immediate ancestors. So we're only going to be talking about hominins tonight. Now, hominins, or bipedal creatures that stood upright, have been around for at least 7 million years based on the paleontological record. But humans, the Homo species, have only been around for about 2.5 million years. And Homo naledi is the oldest species, followed by Homo habilis and Homo rudolfensis, then Homo erectus, heidelbergensis, neanderthalensis, and Homo sapien, modern humans, which have only been around for 400,000 years, as long as the Sumerian kings list. Just as a side note. So let's get into the facts. That the world's oldest stone tools were discovered back in 2015. And they're older than humans. Absolutely mind-blowing. These are the Lomequian, the earliest knap tools ever discovered, the Lomequian tools. Now, before that was the Oldowan tools. This is 700,000 years older than those. Completely blowing the minds of archaeologists and anthropologists worldwide. And prior to that, we had the Acheulean, which are hand axes that are about 1.76 million years old. But these artifacts, 3.3 million years old, were being used by very ancient hominins, not humans. And here is the paper. Now, these tools were unearthed from the shores of Lake Turkana in Kenya and date to 3.3 million years. They are 700,000 years older than any tools found before, even predating the earliest humans in the Homo genus. And the finds were reported in Nature on May 20th, 2015. And they suggest that more ancient species, such as Australopithecus afarensis or Kenyanthropus platyops, may have been more sophisticated than was thought. They are significantly earlier than anything that has been found previously, said Dr. Nick Taylor from the National Center of Scientific Research in France and the University of Leiden in Netherlands. It's really quite astonishing to think what separates the previous oldest site and this site is 700,000 years of time. It's almost a million years. It's in fact monumental. Now, the first tools from the site, which is called Lomequian 3, were discovered in 2011, and they were spotted after researchers took a wrong turn as they walked through the hot, dry Kenyan landscape. And here is the outcrop. And by the end of 2012, a total of 149 tools had been found. And another field trip in 2014 had unearthed still more. And they include sharp flakes of stone, sheared off from larger rocks, which were most likely used for cutting. Hammers, anvils were also excavated, some of which were huge in size. The very largest anvil has a weight of 15 kilograms, which is massive, maybe the largest anvil ever anthropologically recorded, according to Dr. Taylor. On this piece, it doesn't show the signs of actually having been flaked to produce other artifacts, and therefore the anvil. Now, these tools probably rested in the soil, and the other cobbles brought to the site, which were intended to be smashed apart to make tools, were struck against this large anvil. So literally, 3.3 million years ago, they had a tool processing plant in this location. This is absolutely mind-blowing. And the dating is even more specific. The dating of the volcanic ash and minerals around the tools was used, and they suggest that they are 3.3 million years old. And until this discovery, the oldest examples of this technology were Oldowan tools from Tanzania, which date to about 2.6 million years old, meaning these tools are 700,000 years older. That's 1 million years of tool use to get from this technology to this. It's not much different, but it's a little better here. Now, the researchers say the 700,000 year time difference reveals how manufacturing methods and use changed over time and growed more advanced. So here's the 3.3 million year old tools, and here are the 2.6 million year old tools. Much more flaking. They're becoming more bifacial at 2.6 million years. And clearly an intelligent hominin is making these 2.6 million years ago. This is right before Homo species emerges. Look at that. That looks like a perfect arrowhead from the Ute Indians. Now, the scientists do not know who made the tools discovered in Kenya 3.3 million years ago. Until now, some thought that Homo habilis, known as handyman, was the earliest of our ancestors in the Homo genus to use the tools. And Homo habilis emerged around 2.5 million years ago. But with Homo fossils dating back only 2.4 million years, it now seems unlikely that Homo habilis was the first tool maker, because these tools are almost 1 million years earlier. Now, other finds, such as animal bones found in Ethiopia with cut marks on them, they also date to 3.39 million years ago. And they suggest tool use began well before Homo habilis. Now, scientists now believe that the 3.3 million year old implements were crafted by another, more primitive species. And according to Dr. Taylor, he said there are a number of possible candidates. Back in this time, there was a hominin called Kenyanthropus platyops, which had been found very close to where Lomequian 3 tools are being excavated. And that hominin was around at the same time the tools were being made. More widely in East Africa region, there is another hominin that we all very commonly know and have heard of, Australopithecus afarensis, which is famously known from the fossil Lucy, which many of you are my age, we learned about when we were kids. And it was mind-blowing that hominids were 2 million years old, 2.6 million years old. But now we're back 3.3 million years with these fossils and these tools. So Australopithecus afarensis is another candidate for the manufacture of these tools. Now, neither of these species was assumed to be particularly intelligent by the archaeological and anthropological scientists. But they both have human and ape-like features and relatively small brains, but we're learning that this had very little effect on their ingenuity and tool-making ability. And Dr. Ignacio de la Torre from the University College London Institute of Archaeology describes this as a game-changing find. It rewrites, well, the stupidity in the ideology of the archaeologists and the anthropologists, and then thinking that we were always stupid hunter-gatherers. When the reality is that the Homo species comes after tool use, meaning that all of the Homo species, all humans, the moment they emerged on Earth, were able to use and make tools because the earlier hominins were already using them. So these more advanced hominins, humans, would be able to observe and see what they were doing and simply mimic it. So what that means is that humans had been using tools from the very moment the genus Homo arose 2.5 million years ago. And so the whole idea of societies that have existed and come and gone, well, we have 2.5 million years of tool use and advanced humans, which were learning from hominins less advanced for over 1 million years. This is completely rewrites the history books. It's the most important discovery, in fact, in the last 50 years in archaeology, yet no one knows about it. It's so mind-blowing that it suggests that species like Australopithecus might have been intelligent, extremely intelligent, so intelligent that they made stone tools with an anvil in a manufacturing studio where they make tools, and that they had cognitive and manipulative abilities to carry out manufacturing tasks. This basically throws out all of the archaeology ever written to this point, which is why a lot of these scientists are running scared, because their entire career is nonsense. That's very scary. The first stone tools were made 1 million years before the first humans walked on Earth. That means that the first humans on Earth knew how to make tools because they were watching other hominins do it at the same time. And with our increased brain capacity, we were the ones to make it through till now. Pretty mind-blowing. Now, there is a catalog on all the tools, all of the fossils in Africa from 25 million years to present. And you can just click on animals or tools or hominins and just pick your time period. And let's just go look at the 3.3 million year old stuff. There it is. There's the fossil hominins. Here are the tools from 3.3 million years ago. And you can click on a tool. It'll blow it up. And you can just have a ball. It's taking a little time here. It's the Archaeological African Fossils.org catalog. And there she blows. One of the oldest tools ever made on Earth. 3.3 million years old. The development of stone tool technology in Eastern Africa is mind-blowing. It's pushing the dates back 700,000 years from the previous known tool manufacturing. That's a huge amount of time. This should be front page news, and it's not. But all of archaeology is suppressed. Like the topic that will be our next video, the Theopetra Cave. The oldest human construction on Earth is over 23,000 years old, and it is a stone masonry wall. Did you ever hear about that? I didn't think so. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We are here to inform you about the hidden history that's right in plain sight. And they don't want you to know that humans have been around very advanced for a very long time. Become a Patreon, support the work we do, and share this video. And be a hero. We love you.